Hi, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Thanks. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I start a new tutorial about Vue Js SPA. I'm using Laravel as a backend, but you can use whatever backend you want. The main content here is the Vue SPA or Vue single page application. So we will serve the content to the user without any page load. So today we will just take the basics. We set up our environment and stuff like that, and we are creating these two pages website which has a home and about section, and as you can see we can switch between the two pages without any page load. Our URI has updated by Vue Router. Vue Router take care about our routing. And we also have a 404 page for this single page application. So if the user types in some dummy text in the URI, of course this route doesn't exist, then we get this page not found 404 error message, and then the user can navigate back to our home page. Okay, so this is what we are doing today, and then we are take it even further. We will create form, and we will be able to save new articles, and we will be able to serve these new articles and show to the user. And all of this will happen without any page reload. So it will be a complete tutorial for Vue Js SPA. So let's just start it. Okay, so first of all, let's start create a new Laravel project. I'm naming my new project Vue SPA, as you can see. Right, that's done. Now let's see the inside this newly created Laravel folder. Okay, now we are inside this Vue SPA folder. Let's go to the Laravel website and go to the front end and front end scaffolding. And let's install this Laravel UI through Composer. So let's copy this command and go back to the command line, paste the code, hit enter. Right, that's done as well. Now let's use this PHP artisan UI view --out command as well. Right, that's it. Okay, now let's install Tailwind CSS using npm install Tailwind CSS. Right, that's done as well. So now at the moment we have Bootstrap as our dependency and Tailwind CSS as well. So let's open up this newly created project in our code editor. In my case, it is VS Code. Right, so I have this new project in my VS Code editor. Let's go to the package.json, and as you can see we have Bootstrap as our dependency. Let's delete this. We don't want to install it by Node Package Manager, and we can delete this proper JS as well. And probably I won't need jQuery, but I just leave it there for now, and maybe later on I exclude it from my project. And as you can see we have Tailwind CSS and Vue as well. Now let's add the Vue Router as well for our packages. So I'm on Vue Router website and I'm at the installation section. So let's just use npm install Vue Router. Right, that's done as well, and as you can see we have Vue Router as our dependencies now as well in our package.json file. So let's just continue to set up Tailwind CSS and integrate it into our application. So let's go back to the Tailwind CSS website, and let's just add these 3 lines into our code. So let's go to the resources folder, sass folder, and app.sass. We don't need this Bootstrap because we're using Tailwind CSS, and we don't need these variables for now. So let's just paste these 3 lines from Tailwind CSS website. And just before we continue, let's go to the JS folder and we have this app.js. We can delete all these files. We still need Vue, and we still require this Bootstrap file, which is not related to the actual Bootstrap framework. It's related to this Bootstrap.js file. But here we can see it's require Bootstrap, which is the front-end framework, and the Popper.js. So we can delete them because we don't need them for now. Let's delete these commented lines as well. Right, so that's all I have in the Bootstrap.js, and that's it. That's all I have in my app.js. Right, so let's continue to integrate Tailwind CSS. If you scroll even further down, you will see this npx Tailwind CSS in it. So let's just run this command as well. Right, it has created our Tailwind config.js file, as you can see down here. Let's go back to Tailwind website. And if you scroll down, you will see this Laravel mix part. And as we are using SES, we need to follow these commands here. So we need to use this piece of code in our application. Let's go to the webpack.mix.js and let's just add this line in our code. And we already have this part in our code, so we just need this options part. Let's add this, don't forget the semicolon at the end. And as you can see, we need to specify the Tailwind config.js file location, and it is in our root folder. So let's just delete all these, and that's it. So now this file is wired in our application. And also in the production, we would like to have as small CSS file as possible, so we need to cut out all the unused CSS, and we have a great package for that. If you type in inside Google Laravel purge CSS, you will find the very first link is a SPA package on GitHub. Let's just visit that page, and if you scroll down, we need to install it through npm. Let's just do that. Right, that's done as well. So all we need to do now, let's grab this line of code, go back to VS Code, and inside this webpack mix.js, let's just add this code as well. And we need one more piece of code, which is this one, and let's add it at the end. Okay, so that's it for the webpack mix.js. We can close these. And now let's open up a terminal inside this code editor, and let's just do npm install. So right, that's done. Now let's do npm run watch, so our CSS and JS file will be compiled. Right, so our files has been compiled, so as it's working as expected. And as you can see, our CSS file is 1.7 megabyte, but that's why we installed purge CSS. If I hit Ctrl+C and I type in npm run prod, means production, then it will cut out all the unused CSS. Yeah, and of course, because we are not using any Tailwind CSS currently, our file is very small, but for development we need to use npm run watch. Okay, and open up one more terminal just down here and run our server. So php artisan serve. Okay, our server available on this address. And here you go, we have a freshly installed Laravel 7 application. Now let's just delete everything from this home page. This welcome page is located inside the resources views folder and welcome.blade.php. Let's delete everything. And let's use the layouts provided by Laravel out of the box, this app.blade.php. So let's go back to the welcome.blade.php and say extend, because we want to extend this app file. We need to specify the folder where it's located. It's located inside the layout. And we want the app file. We don't need to type in the blade.php Laravel will automatically recognize this file. And now let's say where we would like to place our content. We would like to place in the section content, which is inside this app file. And if you scroll down, you will see this yield content. So everything we type in between these two section tags will be placed here. Now we can delete this main tag, we don't need it, and we can delete this nav as well. We will use Vue Router navigation links, so let's delete this. We need to keep this div with ID of app, because that's where our Vue JS application will be initialized. Okay, and our JS file and the app CSS file is linked in, so that's good. We will using Nunito as our font. So let's just go to the app.scss file and okay, so now if I type in something here, we should see it on the screen. So let's just create a div, for example, and type in. This is our home page, and let's just test our Tailwind CSS. And for example, text red 500. So it should be a quite big text with red color. Hit refresh, and here you go. Our Tailwind CSS is working, and everything looks fine for now. Okay, so now we don't use Vue Router, we are using Laravel default routing system. If we are creating a new page, we should wire it inside the routes folder, web.php. And as you can see, we have two routes at the moment, the home page and basically the logged in home page, which would take us to the home controller. But we don't use any controller for routing. Doesn't matter what the user types into the URL, we need to always serve this welcome page what we have just created. So we can say any, where we mean any is literally anything. Then we want to serve this welcome view. So let's just try this out. So for example, if I type in about, as you can see, we always serving this welcome view no matter what the user types in. Even if we don't go one more section deeper, we always serve this home page. Okay, so now let's just include Vue Router inside our application. So let's go to the resources, JS and app.js file. And we already have required Vue.js inside our application. Now let's import Vue Router. Right, so we are importing Vue Router. Now let's use it inside our Vue.js application. So we need to say vue.use Vue Router and also initialize it inside our application. Okay, so let's say router is equal a new router is equal a new Vue Router. And we want to pass in an object to this called routes. Okay, now we need to import this routes file, which is not exist yet, but we will create it soon. So let's jump up here again and say import routes from routes, and let's just create this routes.js file. Okay, so we have this error because this routes file doesn't exist yet, but let's create it inside this JS folder. So create a new file called routes. Okay, so we don't have any error now, as you can see. Right, so let's just create this routes.js file. We need to say export default. Okay, so first of all, we need to specify how we would like to record what pages has been visited by the user. And we will using the browser built-in tracking system. So all we have to do is say mode. So this will be the mode how we track the visited pages, and it's called history. So it will use the browser built-in history. Okay, so now we need to specify paths, for example, the home page or about page, and the component what we would like to serve to the user when they are visiting that pages. So first of all, let's just create our home page. So let's create routes, and the path will be the home page. And then we need to specify what component we would like to show to the user when they are visiting our home page. So component, we would like to show the home component, for example, which is not created yet, but we will create it in a second. And let's just create a second route, for example, an about page in this case. So path will be about, and the component is the about component. Right, so now we have two routes, the home page and the about, and when the user is on the home page, we would like to show the home component, and when the user is visiting the about page, we would like to show the about component. So now let's just import these components. Basically they are not exist, but let's just import them, and then we will create them as well. Okay, so import. And the second import, basically identical to this one, but it will be the about component. Okay, and down here we get the error because these components doesn't exist yet. So let's just create these two components. We have this example component by default from by Laravel. Let's delete this. And let's create our home component first. So home.view. And let's create the basic structure of a Vue component. So template, we need the template tags, and we need a script part where we do export default. Okay, so inside this component, let's just create a class of text3, let's say 2xl, and text gray 800, for example, and it will be home page. And now let's just do exactly the same for the about page. So let's create the about component, new component about.view. Let's paste this in, and let's say this is the about page, and let's make it green, for example, so we can see some difference. Right, hit refresh. Okay, and we can't see anything because we need to go to our welcome.blade.php, and this is what we see now. But instead of this content, we would like to serve our Vue Js SPA content, our Vue Router content basically. So we need to say router view, and if we are going back to the page and hit refresh, we get the home page. And if I type in about, we got the about page as well. Okay, so our application is working as we expected. Now let's just create links. It's very easy. Create links for pages. We will be using the Vue Router to do that as well. So let's say we would like to create a navigation bar. All we have to do, let's create a div for that. Let's say class of flex bg gray 100, and let's create one more div. All these are Tailwind CSS classes, and let's say it's a container mx auto, and let's give it a border button as well. Okay, and here down we would like to have our links. Okay, so all we need to say is router link. Right, so all we need to do is say router link, and the first link will go to the home page. So we need to specify where to go to. So we need to say to the home. And the second one will be for the about page. Okay, so where we would like to go to, we would like to go to the about page. So about. Right, let's just have a look. Hit refresh. Okay, so basically we have this basic navigation bar. Let's just style this a little bit. So first of all, let's place our content inside the container as well. So div, and let's grab this tag, place it inside here, and let's just give some padding for this as well. Padding Y 4, and let's just give some margin right 4 as well. Okay, let's have a look now. Okay, it's much better now. Okay, so we have the home page and about page, and as you can see, we don't have any page reload. So this is basically our single page application, very basic and very simple SPA, Vue Js SPA. So we can see the exact route where we are, but without any page reload. If you check our Vue Dev tool, we are on the home page now, and if I select this link, as you can see, we have a router link active class here, and if I click on the about, the router link active has been changed to the about page. So it's added automatically by Vue Router, but we can override this class. So I will add my own class to the current page. So all we need to do for that, go to the router.js, and just under this mode, we need to say link active class, and we need to specify what class we would like to add for the active link. In my case, I will use the Tailwind CSS class for that, which will be font semi-bold. So the Vue Router will automatically update our active link and add this class to the active link. So let's just have a look. And as you can see, if I go to the home page is active now. And if I go to the about page, our about page is semi-bold, but our home page is semi-bold as well. It is because we need to specify that the path has to be exact, because Vue Router thinks we are on the about page, but there is a slash, and on the home page there is a slash as well. So that's why both of them is active, because of this slash. So let's go back to the welcome.blade.php, and here we have the route link, and just after this /, we need to say exact, and that's it. Now our application should work as we expected. Yeah, as you can see, our 2 pages working. Okay, so this is of course a very basic SPA. Now let's just take care about 404 error, because if I type in something dummy, of course we're not serving any component, but we still see this home page and about page links, but we would like to show to the user that this page doesn't exist. So let's just create one more component for that. If I go to the component folder, let's create a not found.vue, and let's just grab this. When I serve the not found component, I want the whole page taken, and I don't want to see the navigation bar as well. So let's just make it absolute 0. So it will take the whole page, and bg gray 200. And I want the content to be exactly on the middle of the page. So items center and justify center as well. Let's create a div, and let's just add some class to this as well. So text free_xl page not found 404 right, and let's just make text center as well. Okay, and now let's go back to our route.js file. So create one more path. Okay, so every path which is not defined here, we want to serve the component not found, and don't forget the comma. And we need to import this not found component. And I forgot a comma here. Right, that's compiled. Let's have a look now. Hit refresh. Okay, so our single page application working as we expected. We can visit the home page and the about page. We can switch between them without any page reload. And let's just try some not existing page. And we have this page not found error, but I want to make it full width and height. And I forget the absolute, right? So I have a typo here. It should work now as I expected. Okay, and we still need items center. Yeah, we need to make it flex container. I forgot to add this one. Here you go. Okay, so if the user visiting any page that not exists, then we are serving this page not found error for them. But if the page exists, then we are serving our website for them. Okay, so that's it for now, and in the next video we will take it even further. We will create a form where we will be able to create new posts. So we will communicate with the database through Laravel API routes, and we will using Laravel controllers. But all of these will be without any page load. So we are taking further this Vue SPA. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and bye.